Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel of mprugs.com. My name is Mike. I'm the moderator in the series of videos that is all about handmade carpets from around the world. I welcome you to our channel and I hope you and your family are doing well. In today's episode, I want to feature a design that I've actually featured in one or two other videos of mine that we have in our channel, and that is the Pazyryk design. It is the oldest known handmade carpet that we know to exist that is featured in a museum. But in this video, I'm not only going to introduce you to three different types of handmade carpets that feature that same famous design, but I'm also going to give you a little bit of history that shows you how actually different cultures and different nations have all basically claimed ownership of this. But I'm going to use this design also right here to feature a particular type of a handmade silk rug that many of you may not have noticed. For those of you that are into Persian rugs, or you may have seen it and just basically discarded it. And this is the older silk Persian gom rugs. These were made as this piece. We were able to purchase it from a collector. And what's really beautiful about it is it dates back to the origins of the pure silk rug manufacturing in the city of Qom in Iran. And so I thought when we got this rug, I'm going to give you some, not only history about the design, not only give you some general information that for those of you that are into Persian rugs or just into handmade carpets, you may really be intrigued by this Pazyryk design and learn a little bit about it. But I'm also going to take the opportunity and use this particular piece that, and then this is a really rare find for us because it is not only an older piece, but it is in such immaculate condition that it is almost like new. But this is a piece that is clearly about 60 years old, 60, 70 years old. But it is such an amazing piece in terms of design, but workmanship. There are so many unique features about it that I thought I'm just going to combine it all into this video. So today I'm going to introduce you to not only the Pazyryk design, but then I'm also going to talk about the old Qom rug weaving in the center in Iran. And I'm going to showcase a rug to you, the likes you have probably rarely ever seen. So to basically get started, as you can see here, I got three different rugs. All of them feature the same beautiful, what is known as a Pazyryk design. And this design dates back, there is a picture of it. This is the oldest known handmade carpet that dates back about 2,500 years. It is displayed at a museum in St. Petersburg in Russia. And as the story goes, shortly after World War II, this carpet was found inside a grave of a wealthy nobleman in Kazakhstan. So after World War II, Kazakhstan, for reasons I have no idea, they found a grave, and in that grave was this carpet. Well, a lot of people have been looking at this carpet, and after it was examined and everything, that it was discovered that this carpet most likely comes from the region of current, what is known as the Caucasus region, which if you look at the map, you can see I circled it for you. This is the region that basically claims ownership of this rug. You got Armenia, you have parts of Turkey, parts of Persia. But what is intriguing about it is, and the reason that a lot of people assume that it comes from these areas. It was because of the type of knot that was used in the original piece, as well as the pictures. For example, they have shown how on other types of artifacts from that era, from that Caucasus region, Armenia, Persia, Turkey, these from that whole region, there are other artifacts of, for example, horsemen. And when you look at the Pazyryk design and you see the deer, you see they feature the horsemen, as you can see here in the 3 rugs. And a lot of people have seen enough similarities to say, yes, we're pretty sure that this carpet comes from the Caucasus area. Now, there is a lot of people, and I love to hear them argue about whether some people say it's Armenian, others say it's Turkish, Persian. I'm going to let them fight it out. As far as I'm concerned, this is a beautiful piece of history. It shows how handmade carpet weaving literally dates back, that we know of, at least about 2,500 years, maybe even older. And if it had not been for this beautiful discovery inside a grave, and apparently the reason that, from what I understand, and there again also a little bit of confusion about it, because I've also read that this was found at a grave in Siberia and that it was covered under ice. So I'm thinking, being that Kazakhstan is a very mountainous region, I'm thinking that this may very well have come from an area. The reason that this beautiful old rug was preserved was it was literally under ice. And that is why it got to be preserved. I'm not here to argue about where it was. Honestly, I couldn't really care where it was discovered. To me, it's simply a beautiful piece, and it has also inspired so many others to basically make replicas of it. And I have, for example, featured this Tabriz rug. This is a silk foundation. This is a new piece. This is a beautiful silk foundation, about 55 to 60 rudge Tabriz rug, cork wool silk, but this is a Tabriz, beautiful Turkish knot. This is just what you would expect to see, and we have had many pieces like it in different sizes. Always been very popular with our clients. Then here you have a piece that I featured recently that my family was able to obtain, and this is a rare square. You notice it's framed. This is a sub-family of the Turkish Hereke. This is a Cinar. Now the Cinar is one of the types of silk rugs, and because a lot of people, when you think about the Turkish silk rugs, you automatically think of the Hereke pieces. So I use the word Cinar as a subtype of the Hereke rugs, but they're really not related to each other. But a lot of the weavers that are from the Cinar area where they used to make the rugs, they're also Hereke rug weavers, and so there is some connection there. But as you can see here, it's an absolute beautiful piece. It has the Cinar signature, and this, we purchased this framed, and this is just an absolute beautiful piece. But the main reason for the video today, and this is just really what got me going here, was when we were able to obtain this beautiful, almost semi-antique gom rug. But what is absolutely beautiful about it was that the collector had it displayed on a wall in such a way that he didn't use any nails or anything. It was just absolutely beautifully preserved. But it is in like new condition. but it is older. And this piece, it shows a lot of the history that went into the Persian rug weaving in the city of Qom. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move the Cinar piece. I'm actually going to move that aside. I want to focus on the Qom rug. And then, because there's a lot of people do not know this, that the city of Qom in Iran is best known for the pure silk rugs. But a lot of people don't know that the whole rug production in the city of Qom, when you talk about the pure silk Qom rugs, Qom did not become known as a silk weaving community until about 1950 on. So prior to World War II, Qom was actually, it was really rare to find pure silk Qom rugs. Qom was not known for it because actually weaving silk rugs, one of the reasons why you do not find a whole lot of them is even though silk is a very, very strong substance, very difficult to weave. So the reason why when you look at antique rugs, you find that the overwhelming majority of them are wool rugs is simply because silk, it took a really skilled weaver to make the silk rugs. And Qom really started taking off about 1950s. That's when it really started to become the center of the silk carpet weaving, and that is what they're famous for today. But this piece right here, which we think it dates back to right about I'm going to say somewhere between 1950 and 1960. And we know that is because in the old days, they were made with vegetable dyes, like in this case right here. And you can tell the vegetable dyes in the older pieces. When you look at, when I get behind the camera, I'm going to show them to you. I'm going to feature, you'll notice that some of the mint green, they started to not just break down, but there is a layer of patina that is almost forming over some of the colors. There's some fading going on. Also, for example, another unique thing about this piece right here is the signature where it says Qom and it says Jamshidi, but no, it is not the Jamshidi family that a lot of people know about. The Jamshidis, for those of you who are new, are one of the best known carpet weavers in Qom. They are like the Picassos of the Qom rugs. Extremely fine pieces, but also extremely expensive. But the Jamshidi name itself, it's not overly common, but it's common enough to where you'll see it. And oftentimes, as I always point out, in the Qom rugs, they will put the person who either contracted the rug to be made for them, or the designer. They are the ones who typically have their names put at the top. It's not the actual weaver. But in this particular piece, one of the unique features about it is the edging, the end. This is how the Qom rugs were made at the beginning. And this is what you will also find in other types of old Persian rugs. The Bijars, the Tabriz, Kashans, not so much the Isfahans, but you will see them in Persian rugs, where on one end you have the fringes, and on the other end you have them almost like tied, these almost like knitted. This was done because they were hung in the old days. Persian, and this was, again, back in the old days, these rugs were made for a domestic market. And they like to have the fringes showing at the top, but when it comes to the bottom, For reasons I have yet to understand, they like to have them knitted. And so this right here is a perfect example of what the old gom rugs, this is what they look like. You will also notice in the old gom rugs, you have a beautiful, not Persian knot, but Turkish knot. This is something that also a lot of people are not aware of. The pure silk gom rugs, the new ones that you see now, virtually all of them are made with what is known as a Persian knot. But when they first started out, they were actually made with what is known as the Turkish knot. And you have a very strong, a much denser pile as a result, but you also don't have the extreme high knot count. So here you have a rug that has about 500 knots per square inch, but it's an extremely dense, very, very firm silk. So for those of you that are into the older Persian rugs, if you like the older silk rugs, this is something, like I said, when my family and I, when we looked at it, we're like, wow, if we're able to get it, because these are, for those people that know about these rugs, these are very, very sought after, very collectible. For a lot of people, to them, they're like, you know, it's not just another Persian rug. But like I said, for people like us who are basically freaks when it comes to handmade rugs, to find an older pure silk gom rug in this condition, with this beautiful design and the history that goes with it, it's just really a novelty. And so I thought I have to share this with you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back behind the camera in a little bit and I'm going to show you some of the features. And then I'm going to come back to you at the end and say my goodbyes. As I always tell my clients and my viewers, if you have questions about a rug, if you want to know more information, please feel free to visit our website at mprugs.com. Also, if you own rugs, I got a lot of folks asking me questions about Persian rugs. If you have any questions about a rug that you may own, there is a link below in the description where I show you what kind of pictures I need. And feel free to email me the pictures. I'll be more than happy to take a look at it. Like I said, I try to make it a little bit fun for all of us. It's a channel that is not just about Persian rugs, but I also try to give something back and answer some of the questions that you may have. So I'm going to get behind the camera. I'm going to see you again a little bit. If you like, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like the videos and you give me a thumbs up, I'm going to say thank you. But now I'm going to do what I always do, get behind the camera. So I'll see you again later. So here we are from behind the camera. And just to give you some of the unique features about this, like I said, it's almost, I guess it's semi-antique, just a beautiful piece. But as you can see here, you can see some of I wouldn't call it discoloring, but this is what we call the patina. This is where you can see, and I'm doing this on purpose with the camera, so you can look at, when you look at from the same angle, you can see how there is a hint of a mint green on the right side, and then there is a little bit of fading on the left side of the border. This is what we call aging, and this is all vegetable dyes. This is exactly what people look for in the older pieces, but this is a beautiful example of what the early rug weaving culture in gom was all about. And when you talk about, as I'm just going to look, if you look at the bottom, this is right here. This is how they used to make the rugs in the old days. This is how they were woven. So on one end, you have the fringes. And on the other hand, you have the fringes that were knotted together. And like I said, this is a beautiful piece. It has about, I'm gonna say about 500 knots per square inch. But it's just absolutely, this is 100% authentic, and it's old school. This is the type of old school workmanship that some of my clients who like the older rugs, this is what they look for. And the cool thing about some of these rugs, in my opinion, it's nowhere near as expensive as, I don't know. I think that sometimes these older pieces should be a lot more expensive. They should easily be 2 or 3 times as much. But a lot of people who like the silk, the gome rugs, they want the newer pieces. They want the brighter colors. But for those of you that are into the older pieces, here is a perfect example of a gome rug that dates back many decades, and that is just made using the 100% what I would call old school way of doing the rugs. And as I mentioned to you, here's the signature. You can see the Gome Jamshidi signature, and like I said, this is not a genuine Jamshidi masterpiece. It was just named after the person who was either the designer or who financed the rug to be made for them, and their family name happened to be Jamshidi. So I hope you enjoyed the close-ups of this video and the beautiful history behind the Pazyryk. I'm going to come back to you now with my final words. So there is our video about the Pazyryk rug. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, we had to showcase it to you. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section. Also, don't forget to check out our channel where we featured the other Pazyryk rugs if this is something that you're interested in. Again, my name is Mike. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you all of these videos. I wish you and your family the very best, and I'm looking forward to it, to coming back to you with many more videos to come. Best wishes and take care. Bye-bye.